if you go back to, pre-pandemic, and we all saw the trends away from brick and mortar retail, and e-commerce and obviously gained significant traction. And as Justin mentioned at the outset, we're now as a population talking about things like supply chain and logistics that were not part of the lexicon previously, but now are under so much focus and so much spotlight. How much acceleration has GXO seen? Are we 2 years, 3 years ahead? And what are some of the challenges that you've encountered with the demand increase over the last 22 months or so?
So it's easy to point to one thing and try and explain that that's the reason why growth is happening the way it is. But in a contractual business, the persistence of growth is always the thing that surprises people. So wanting to believe that it was the supply chain problems that drove all these customers to us, or whether it was the pandemic of everyone being at home and ordering on e-commerce, there's been a mindset shift over the last 5 to 10 years. People know that they have to work with the bluest of blue chip 3PLs if they're a blue chip customer and stand shoulder to shoulder to them, not in a master servant type relationship, but with equality when it comes to bargaining power. That is what is going to drive business. Not just it has been driving business yesteryear, but also today, tomorrow, and for the foreseeable future. There is 30 years plus worth of growth in these addressable markets and with these secular tailwinds. And I really don't hesitate in saying 30 years. The compounding nature of some of these trends are going to be here to last.
And it seems like a scale is such a huge advantage. When I think of scale on a real estate perspective, if Las Vegas is sold out of space or Prologis is sold out of distribution center space, if you already have that relationship at scale in other markets, how you can leverage it and be able to find opportunities before they're publicly available. How else does scale play into the business?
It's such an important point, scale, because it comes in so many forms. Scale in the ability to hire labor, scale in the ability, as you mentioned, Justin, to source real estate, such an important portion working with some of our amazing blue chip providers of real estate, some of the landlords, the biggest and the best in the world. And we've got preferred relationships in one specific case. Our ability, therefore, to get the first call and to find that warehouse in a position that suits the customer from a last mile perspective is really something that we differentiate ourselves on. Scale can come in the form of ability to leverage our ESG prowess. Scale can come in the ability to RFP from a technology standpoint when it comes to hiring the biggest and the best equipment. Scale can come from a software standpoint. Be clear, when you have those minor jumps back in the commoditized Charles Dickens world of 20 years ago, where effectively you're working from good to great being an extra 10 picks per hour, and you go into a world of FOMO where customers are competing against each other to get those massive leaps and bounds from 50 to 300 picks per hour, no one wants to be the guinea pig. They all want to have the best, the biggest, and the most efficient equipment in their warehouse.
And warehouse automation, right? You guys have made such great strides there in thinking through what people usually would see in a warehouse. Where are we in the warehouse automation wave of it seems like robots as a service was kind of one of the last evolutions of making it more available for people in their warehouses, but you've taken it to a next level. Maybe you can expand upon that a little bit.
So let's contextualize where we are in the industry, Justin. So the reality is that we're 30% automated across our footprint, those 900 warehouses that I talked about and roughly 200 million square feet. The reality is that our competition, our industry, is barely 5% automated. So the starting point here is, do you want to go with someone who's not having their first rodeo, hence this gravitation towards big getting bigger? When it comes to thinking about automation, it comes in so many different forms. Software, proprietary solutions such as our GXO Smart software, which allows labor productivity to be improved by the minute and the second rather than by the day and the hour. Such an important tool that we deploy across 60% of our warehouses. Integrating solutions of the customer, taking their hardware, integrating it with third-party hardware, taking their software, integrating it with our software, making sure that this is a very close-knit, brand-managed solution that really provides the end result, which is delighting and pleasing the end market consumer.